Hi guys! My students are sometimes unsure of how to say car makes correctly in English. So in this lesson, we're going to look at 10 popular car makes and how we normally pronounce them in English. My name's Stephanie and I'm an English tutor at Britsent. Let's begin. So before we look at the pronunciation, and in case you're wondering, a make of car is the brand, but we don't normally use the word brand when talking about vehicles. We use the word make instead. So you can ask someone, what make is your car? We often use this word together with model. So for example, if you're filling in a registration form for your car, you might be asked for the make and model. So for instance, you could say the make is Ford and the model is Focus. Okay, so let's start off with some German makes. The first one we're going to look at is this. Now, because this is a German make, of course, it's pronounced very differently in German. But in English, we say Volkswagen. So the word has 3 syllables and the first one is stressed. Volkswagen, Volkswagen, Volkswagen. Here's another example of a German car that is pronounced quite differently in English. In the original language, it's pronounced with 2 syllables, Porsche. But in English, we pronounce it as 1 syllable only, like this, Porsche, Porsche. How would you pronounce this next make? I've actually heard a lot of my Korean students calling it a Benz, and I wasn't quite sure which make they were talking about at first. That's probably because in English we normally say Mercedes. Notice that the stress is in the middle of the word and the ending is a long E sound. So let's repeat that. Mercedes. Of course, Mercedes is short for Mercedes-Benz, but some people make it shorter by calling it a Merc. And the last German make for today is this. This word is made up of 2 syllables. The first syllable is pronounced ow, and the second one is pronounced d, with the stress falling on the first syllable. So in English, we say Audi, Audi. Now let's move on to a car from Japan. When saying this make, we need to watch out for the vowel O in the middle and A at the end. The O is pronounced exactly like that, O. But the A is pronounced A. This is a 3-syllable word and the second syllable is stressed. So in English, we say Toyota, Toyota. Moving on to some popular French makes now. So you've probably noticed that in English, we like to change the original pronunciation quite a lot. So here's one that changes completely when we say it in English. How do you think we pronounce it? So we pronounce it as 2 syllables, and for the first one, we say sit. For the second one, we say run. The stress falls on the first syllable, citron. So in full, we say citron, citron. And another French make we're looking at today is this. Again, this word is made up of 2 syllables and the first one is stressed. And don't forget the silent T at the end of the word. So we pronounce it Peugeot, Peugeot. Okay, so now we're going to look at a few British makes. The first one is this. Just watch out for those tricky L and R sounds. In the second word, in British English, we don't normally pronounce the final R sound. And instead, we use the schwa sound, So we say rover. We also place most of the stress on the first word, land. So in full, this make is Land Rover. Land Rover. The next British make we're going to pronounce is this. This word has 3 syllables, jaguar. And the first one is stressed, jaguar. Notice that, like in the previous example, the final R is pronounced as a schwa, So we pronounce it jaguar, jaguar. And another British make, and my personal dream car, is this one. This word is made up of 2 syllables, and the first one is stressed. Just watch out for the long E sound in the second syllable. So we pronounce it Bentley. You may also notice some native British speakers dropping the middle T sound and instead using what we call a glottal stop. So instead they would say Bentley. So you could say Bentley or Bentley. And last but certainly not least, we have this Korean make. As I said before, in English we pronounce things quite differently to the original language. And this is no exception. So this word has 3 syllables and the middle syllable is stressed. So in English we pronounce it Hyundai. Hyundai. Okay, so now let's practice those words once more together. Here we go. Volkswagen, Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, Toyota, Citroën, Peugeot, Land Rover, Jaguar, Bentley, Hyundai. Right, so that's all from me for today. I hope you found this lesson useful. The next time you're speaking in English about cars, try to remember how I pronounce these makes here today. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.